My name is Kathy Martinelli. I'm a school teacher in a union in the south suburbs, not too far from here, like a half-hour drive. Actually, I was planning to go to the Joliet one because I all signed up with their council newly, but I just couldn't handle the drive out there in the traffic and the expressway. It was a lot easier to come. I got the email yesterday. I thought, great, because I'm real familiar with Grange. My sister lives out here. I'm like, I'm right off of Grange Road, so I thought this is, just easier for me to make it, But I just been following very, very closely what's been going on all over the country, not just Wisconsin, all the Midwest states, Florida. I mean, what they're trying to do to public education, what they're trying to really do is privatize it, make it all charter schools with non-union people. Really just kind of separate the haves and the have-nots, because then of course they take the best students to go there. It just scares me, just generally what's going on with the corporations, how they control politicians now, particularly, what was going on in Wisconsin with Walker, how he got caught in a phone call and admitted everything and what his ulterior motives are. It had nothing to do with money. It's just breaking the unions, because what they want to do is just privatize our whole country, and the upper 2% are going to control all of us, and it's going to become a third world country. It really is. They're going to have the very wealthy and the people barely making ends meet, people losing their houses, their jobs. I mean, it's very scary. But I look all around me and I wonder about, like, my children, their generation, what's going to happen to them, as things continue on the path they are. It's scary. I feel like this is not the country I grew up in. This is not the country that I grew up in. I mean, there was an opportunity to do better than your parents, and I've done as well, as my parents, but this next generation, it seems like they're up against a wall. They're not going to be able to keep up with what they had in the generation prior, and that is the death of the American dream. It really is. And it's sad. It's very sad to see what's happening. It's very scary. Pardon?
What would you say to
Well, I mean, a lot of them are changing their majors. They don't even want to go into it now, from what I've heard. They're afraid, because there's so much going on. They just don't know, you know what I mean? I mean, especially if they do away with all the unions, they won't have any bargaining power. They won't have control of their classrooms, how many kids in a classroom. That's very important, and it's not just all about money and benefits, it's working conditions too. And we're just at the mercy of, the board or whoever takes over these districts. I mean, I just don't know what's going to happen with all this privatization. It really all started with the No Child Left Behind Act, which I don't agree with at all. And they're supposedly going to do some changes to it, but it should just be completely overhauled, because it's just teaching to the test. And, they're supposed to do away with the ISAT in a couple years, but I think it's almost an ulterior motive just to privatize all the schools, because then you could say, okay, you're failing, let's close the school. Let's make it a charter school. Goodbye, and get rid of all the teachers and replace them with people, making nothing, that have no voice, and they can get rid of you at any time they want to. You have no job security. Not that that's the whole thing, but I mean, and then that affects everyone, not just teachers. It affects our whole society. When the unions are weakened, everyone's weakened. Thanks to the unions, we have what we have now, but we're losing it, So that's all.